Welcome to SAD TV's news. I'm Shanna Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories, Dominica's Diabetes Food Care receives $5,480 worth of diabetic instruments. Battle of the Soufriere Bridge in St. Lucia. UN's Ban Ki-moon awaits report. And in sports, Shane Shillingford to participate in Spin Bowling Clinic. Details of these will follow.
Yeah. I know that things are tough, but we will make it out. Dominica, we all gonna make it one day. The pressures of the system make us lose around. Oh yeah, we all gonna make it one day. Yeah, listen now, there's something that I wanna say to you. You get me so angry. Yeah man, this is Emma Moses, and you're watching SAT News, the People's Choice, yeah? Make it blessed, make it blessed, make it blessed. Love.
Welcome back. Following the end of a 5-week summer camp and the Better Me, Better You program, Ms. Gloria Walsh, Director of Love One Teach One, shared some of her experiences and hopes for the program in an exclusive interview with SAT TV. The camp, which was geared towards empowering vulnerable young ladies, lasted for an entire week under the theme Girls Leading the World, where the young ladies were taught the roles of leadership and were also informed of HIV and safe sex from the HIV Prevention Unit.
Dr. Peter Seja, based in the state, he's a criminologist, sociologist. So we had that going for us too. Also at our summer camp too. And then we went to Trafalgar Primary School. We also did it at Camglo. We went to the Dominica State Prisons, and we showed he had a movie, Lesson from Homicide. So we went to Collio, we had Carry Reserve in a program. In a program I have there with some children. We also we played the movie Trafalgar, Watermaiden, Yam Peace, and also Silver Lake.
Ms. Walsh has received positive responses, particularly on the Better Me, Better You program. The Better Me, Better You program consisted of 50 children from primary to secondary school level.
The children really took part. They were given questionnaires. It had one, who am I? How do I know you well? So everybody was interacting with each other and asking questions. We had games. Also, we had police officers sitting in too, because I think Mr. Seja was suggesting that is one of the programs he want to bring into the community policing program.
The overall objective was to help the children to understand themselves better in terms of self-development. According to Ms. Walsh, the children were very interactive when the topics on different sexes came up.
The Peace Corps volunteers, they were really impressed. Also the Peace Corps director, Mr. Patrick Henderson. The prisoners, they were really happy to get that, get that program in place for them, because most of them, they shared their stories, and even to the point, I knew a few of them so well, because when I used to work at Operation Earthquake, they were there, so it was kind of, touching. Even for the first day when they enter and I saw them, I was like, wow. And they gave good reviews. And even with the parents, especially those, from Silver Lake. I met a parent yesterday too. She was happy her son spoke about it. And the parents for Silver Lake, they were really, really happy about that kind of a gesture.
Although the summer program has come to an end, Ms. Walsh assured us that there are many upcoming activities, including her after-school program.
We have our youth program, which not our new youth group, but it has been there. But seeing that we did the Better You, Better Me program, we have enforced it now. So we're going to do our launching of that program, and majority of the children, from Silver Lake area, the young people, and Bath Estates, including my children, Roseau, and some other parts of, some other areas. So that too we're going to do. We're going to do the launching. Hopefully by tomorrow, on Saturday, we are going to we're going to have a bonfire, and then we have a young youth group which coming in, souls for the ultimate purpose.
Ms. Walsh advised that in order to be a role model for the children, one must learn to have respect for themselves. And in more news, on September 1st, 2013, the country will witness the election of a new leader to head the Dominica United Workers' Party for the next general elections, constitutionally due by May 15, 2015. Party delegates are expected to assemble in Casa Bruce to select the new political leader. Allegedly, the candidate for the post is journalist Lennox Linton, who is scheduled to contest the Marigot constituency, currently held by former leader of UWP, Mr. Edison James, who will not be seeking re-election. Mr. James has stated on numerous counts that he supports Mr. Lennox Linton in this pursuit. The UWP, which has been the official opposition since 2000, is seeking to re-energize its base and regain the support of the general public. Although elections are constitutionally due in 2015, there has been widespread speculation that Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit will call an early poll, possibly in 2014. Today, August 29th, marks 34 years since Hurricane David claimed lives, land, buildings, and left hundreds of Dominicans homeless. The damage caused was greatest in the capital city, Roseau, which resembled an airy target after the storm's passage. Strong winds from Hurricane David destroyed or damaged 80% of the homes, mostly wooden structures on the island, leaving 75% of the population homeless. Dr. Lennox Honeychurch, a historian, said that Dominica sustained long-term effects from Hurricane David.
You could effectively say that the country wasn't really fully back into order until about 20 years had passed. And particularly that's just dealing with the public sector and government property. But when you're going into private property, a lot of people left the island. A lot of people just gave up and left their houses just derelict and emigrated. So our population also declined very markedly after 1979 because a lot of people decided they and their children's future was better overseas.
Dr. Honeychurch urged Dominicans to remember the tragic effects of Hurricane David and to learn from it. He advised that we should take hurricane warnings seriously and make preparations, as we never know the impact that it can have on the island. The agricultural industry was most severely damaged, with bananas and coconuts in the highest numbers. 75% of the crops were destroyed. The Category 5 storm made landfall in Dominica in 1979 and claimed the lives of 40 persons, leaving thousands reportedly injured. David was the second male name for a tropical storm since 1952, the first to reach Category 5 intensity and the first to be retired. In other stories, a woman and her grandson, who were victims of what appeared to be a flash flood in the Concord area, can consider themselves lucky. Reports indicated that Carol Valmont, a teacher at the Northeast Comprehensive School, and her grandson were rushed to the hospital after sustaining injuries during the incident. Ms. Valmont was said to be washing her vehicle on the Concord River on Wednesday, August 28th, when an unexpected overflow occurred and swept the vehicle with her grandson inside. She was also carried by the sudden surge. Two individuals who were walking by at the time saw what had happened and went to Ms. Valmont's rescue. Amazingly, her grandson escaped from the vehicle. In other stories, the Rotary Club made a donation of diabetic instruments amounting to $5,480 on Wednesday, August 28th, towards Dominica's diabetes food care. This donation was made to the Ministry of Health. These instruments will be directed towards the management and prevention of diabetes, chiefly in the area of food care. Throughout the Caribbean, statistics have shown that diabetes and food care problems have grown over the years. President of the Rotary Club of Dominica, Robert Tong, said that it is an honor for the club to make this donation. Mr. Tong explained that most people do not realize the importance of their limbs.
And we have to have proper preventative care. And I think that is what the whole step-by-step project is all about, training persons and helping us reduce the instances of persons having amputated limbs. You'd also see that it is definitely on an increase. Some persons may say that's not necessarily true, but if you look around, you have definitely seen quite a few persons who have amputated limbs. Although recently I've seen that they've gotten prosthetics. So if you're not looking carefully, you may not even realize that person actually has. But these things are extremely expensive.
He noted that the Rotary Club looks forward to working with the government and the Ministry of Health to brainstorm ways of taking this to the next level. Primary Healthcare Officer Dr. Charlotte Jeremy said the ministry is grateful for the instruments as they will help to increase sensitivity in the foot as well as cleanse it. She added that no one likes walking barefooted, and those affected with diabetes are very concerned about their feet and are very skeptical about what they wear.
How long they walk, etc. As diabetes progresses, the complications increase, and so sensitivity of the patient's feet decrease, and the patient doesn't even know if they have an affectation in the foot. And we are very thankful for these instruments because what they do, they help to keep the feet clean, they help to increase the sensitivity of the feet, and so the risk of getting the diabetic foot is decreased. And so we are very thankful. When I went to La Plaine and I encountered the Care of the Foot project on the district, I was very much pleased to see that the nurses would have the patients sit on a chair. They had the special clinic for the patient with diabetic foot, have the feet on their laps, and would be taking care of the feet, increasing the sensitivity.
The donation included 10 turning forks, 20 artery forceps, 20 scalpels of various sizes, 20 foot dressers, 21 scissors, 21 nippers general, and 20 beads. In other news, Reginald Austri, Minister for Housing, Lands, Telecommunications, Energy and Ports, has revealed that the housing lots in Cotton Hill, Portsmouth will be made available to applicants by the end of this year. The requirement for additional housing lots in Lagos area was needed as some residents occupy land near the sea and as a result have suffered damage to their properties.
This government for some time back has realized the need for the expansion of Lagos, the need for removing the people on the western side of the Lagos village from the sea because of the danger posed by heavy seas and hurricanes and stuff like that. And the government took a decision that would attempt to make lands available for the people of Lagos primarily, but most of the people are done in that particular area.
Mr. Austri said in 2009 a subdivision plan was developed for a certain section of Cotton Hill.
Let's understand it. The land in Cotton Hill has several owners. The Government of Social Security, the Development Planning Corporation, the government, and some private owners. But the government itself, between the Government of Social Security and the Development Planning Corporation, owns about 500 acres of land in that general area, that total Cotton Hill area. But that land has always been earmarked for tourism development. Even as early as 1967, report by the Shantan and Cox report, it makes provision for that area. Those are like airstrips and hotels and so on. But it was earmarked for the tourism development of Portsmouth and the future of the north of the country in terms of employment and development.
According to the Minister of Housing, the government began negotiating with the private landowners about 3 years ago for the purchase of 18 acres of land, which was more suitable for low and middle income housing. He explained, and I quote, that government has in fact acquired and began paying for the 18 acres of land on which we intend to settle the people who intend to apply for land in recent times. Mr. Austri indicated that about 100 lots have been subdivided by the ministry and they are in the process of ensuring that the square footage of land is accurate.
And those lands, I'm hoping it's the end of the year, those lands will be made available to Lagos in particular, but mostly the people of Dominica by extension. We have met with the people of Lagos and about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the director of surveys, and explained the situation to them. We have received numerous applications from people all across the island. Because remember that the people of Georgetown were also offered some of that land as a settlement for the issues we have in the Picard area. And all that has been considered.
There was an assurance from Mr. Austri that before the end of 2013, land will be allocated and made available to the persons who have applied for land in that area. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.